Test. Hello. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. There we go. I also had the stream up, so I was getting repeated audio, and I was like, what's going on? All right. Preparing. All right, we are good to go on audio here. Let's go check the YouTube, make sure it's up and running. Where are we? Oh, here we go. Looks like we're live. Oh, we are good to go. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Welcome back to another stream. I should switch so we can look at each other. Hi. There we go. There's a Roo off to the side. Welcome. We will hang out for a little bit and chat while we're just waiting on Bobicus to arrive for the second half of the reading of his wonderful story, which is awesome and cool and wonderful and awesome. And I so much appreciate that he just on a whim was like, hey, you want to read this? Yes, I do. And I'm super glad I'm able to. This is a whole lot of fun. Cool. Ooh, I wonder, hold on. So can I... So in that chat, I can, hold on. So if I go over to and I go back to chat and I go, I would like to use an emoticon. And it appears we're able to. Look at all these emotes. Okay. It's also, and it also shows up there. Yes, beautiful. Multi-chat works. Everything is working. I'm shocked, I say, that everything is up, running, and alive. Oh, I wonder if there's got to be a way to let's see. I'm on mentions. Okay, show timestamps. Good. Docs, activity feeds, media request. We're definitely not doing a TikTok chat here. Multi-chat, media request, activity feed. What's activity feed? That seems fun. I think we can delete that. Okay. I see transitions, and I don't really need that. What was I hoping to do? I was literally trying to do something, and brain just went, no. What was it trying to do? What on earth? So before I need to go at 9:30. Yeah, so we're gonna have a little bit of a stream here. The plan is to go until 9:30 for an hour. When I need to go help my wife with something. Man, I love it. So I added stream elements into like the OBS framework and that does all the stream capture and stuff. And it's great. Except that it sort of makes everything unstable. Functionality wise, it's awesome. But yeah, it's not the most reliable piece of code to ever exist. Anyway, yeah, so for anyone else who is also interested in dropping a story to read later, we'll start by 8:45 EST, 7 Central, with our continuation of the story, The Sleeping Cure. Yeah, you can see we have the text up before. Yeah, we'll start at quarter of, because I do have to go by 9:30. So we're in a little bit of a race against time. Worst comes to worst, we'll split into another day, but hopefully not. The goal is to get through all of this. Not sorry. That sounds very negative. That's not at all how I was meaning it. Not meaning it as negative. I hope to be able to complete the story in this go round, is what I mean. I can understand that sounded very negative. That wasn't at all what I meant. Yeah, so we're just kind of hanging out here for a little bit. So yeah. How's it going? How's your day? Yeah, things going okay? Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Baron approves. Baron highly approves of days going well. He will happily root squirrels for you if that is what you so desire. He's a pilot, by the way. I don't know if you know that. He actually has his pilot's license. In fact, he is quite a well-respected aviator in his field. Yeah. That's me. That's Baron. That's Regal Beagle. That's the pilot. The Red Baron wannabe. I mean, the dog that the Red Baron wanted to be. Yep, there we go. That's what it was. Yep, that's the answer. It's me. Ooh. Sorry, I couldn't resist. You know, sometimes things just catch your eye. You got to root them. You got to go after these things. And yes, So yes, I do hope everyone is having a wonderful evening tonight as we prepare to read our wonderful story here given by a viewer. If you too would like to have a story read, reach out, especially hop onto the Discord. The link is at the top of the screen. You can certainly see it up. Let me see. You can kind of see it up there. See it? Where the mouse is? That. Type that into this Discord. You can join the server. You can, we're small numbers right now, but we're the goal is to slowly increase our head count over time. And if you want to discuss or have a story read, feel free to drop it into the appropriate channel. There is a literature channel in Discord, and we'll read it. The other major thing that we do here on this channel is we do some math and physics. We are actually theoretically in the middle of putting together a Kalman filter for some kind of data prediction work, which is quite a bit of fun math. And trying to put together a useful Python script for that. But that will that'll take a little time to get up and running. So that's been an ongoing project that I got distracted by actual work that I actually had to do for my grad school, and so that has been a very inconsistent project. But the hope is to complete that here pretty soon. I feel like we're on the tail end of that. Certainly in the last quarter of work, I would say, on that count, and that'll be actually really cool once that's up and running. It's a data prediction methodology that essentially uses noise within the data, like makes an approximation of what it estimates what the next data point is going to look like, and then accepts uncertainty both in the data, the data measurement, as well as in the data itself. And so it tries to take all that into account and guess what the next data point's going to be in, say, a time series of data, right? So you're going from time 1 to time 2, and then so you've got that, and now you're trying to guess what it's going to look at time 3, and it kind of will tell you do an estimation and then a data input update, and you're using all that and accepting all of the uncertainty from the noise in the data and the noise in the measurement to try and figure that out. Anyway, that's the other project. It's a really cool project. If you're at all interested in a lot of data estimation things like aircraft flight paths, right? Or if you're trying to launch a rocket and have it guess where it's going to be on its flight path given its own GPS, that kind of thing, right? Its own GPS signal is trying to guess where it is at the next update. You can use a Kalman filter for that. Anyway, really cool mathematical tool. We're still in the process of trying to put that together. And we should be starting the story here in about 3 minutes or so. I just wanted to give people time to roll in if they were so interested. So we should be getting going pretty soon. Yes. So in the meantime, I just want to say thank you all for being here. We're gonna move ourselves a little back towards a appropriate set. Oh no! I'm larger than the bounding box of the thing. There we go. Oh, there we go. Yes. We're gonna sit behind the desk. Yes. Excellent. There we are. As we read our story. Okay. Well, 2 more minutes. Let's make sure We're up and running everywhere. We've got our multi-chat. We've got our YouTube. All right, our audio seems to be working just fine. And let's make sure we're at the right spot. Let's see where we ended. Okay, so you did that, right? You got the mug. All right, gets a full mug. Yes. We're about to be introduced to this fellow Meaden and find out something about him. So, in 1 minute, we will start. I like to start on time, oddly. I don't know. Those who know me know that that's an oddity. But anyway, we're going to start on time. We're going to start. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll start up here just to kind of roll into where we were. Okie dokie. Okie dokie, don't you know? It's time to go. So, here we are. This is part 2 of The Sleeping Cure by Bobicus, who so kindly offered up this story yesterday, actually, to be read. And so we managed to get through the first part, and now it's time to get through the second part. Here we go. Let's get a drink of tea. Need the tea. Trappers are a rowdy lot, and much of the room is still lost in its own conversation. But Tulurth continues on. I think you know there's a disease about it, a right ugly thing it is. Puts folk to sleep so that they never wake up. Still alive, mind you, still breathing. But Jenry's family's boy has been asleep for 3 months now. Lodi holds his mug sideways, indicating a lack of drink. Surely this announcement could have waited for more important matters. Loris leans over the counter and says, then perhaps I should mention the witch. Leody leans back and raises his eyebrow. Tillers continues, Meaden came by a month ago. Those listening groan in frustration. Meaden is a fellow trapper, but he spends most of his days scraping strange mosses and lichen off of trees, brewing stranger potions, and testing his concoctions on himself. Came by a month ago and told us about the witch, called her Lady of the Forest, and convinced the town to deliver the afflicted children to her. I say, now I know you're lying. No one's fool enough to trust Meaden. Tillerth responds, Jinseys were fool enough. They leave one day with their child, walk deep into the forest with Meaden, return without their little girl. Next week, the Tellers and the Yorvos head into the forest with that creature, return without their little ones. No one can get a word out of any of them about what happened. Leody says, okay, so he's taking them into the forest, bewitching them and stealing their kids? Are you saying we should do something about it? Tillerth, ignoring him. One day, the Dinius girl comes back, awake and alive. Something out there knows the cure. Tillerth frowns and looks down at the bar. That's about when half the families with the sick kids decide to follow Meaden into the forest. The rest of us headed out later, after the seizures started in the sleeping kids, after the kids started dying. Guren's mouth hangs open for a moment before he composes himself, signing himself with Allred's sigil. Sorry, let me reread that. Guren's mouth hangs open for a moment before he composes himself, signing himself with Allred's signal. Lurith puts his hand up. No adults infected. Although most of the children have been. Kids have about a week before they start seizing. The bar remains silent. Plenty of children have returned, but the problem is they get sick again, and they're back in the forest with the lady. The bar is quiet a moment longer before Leody says, a lot of ways this doesn't concern us, does it? I turn to Leody and cast an admonishing look. Tillerith wraps his finger on the bar. Aye, that may be, except Meaden was found dead in the forest last week, an arrow in the heart. Leody snorts. We'll find out who did it once they try and sell us furs. Tillerith leans in his bar. Oh, we know who did it, lad. The arrow is elven, and someone carved the sigil of Uru elves on his forehead. Allred's beard, Gurren whispers. The Uru aren't declaring war on Rumish, are they? I think if they meant war, they would have struck harder than Miedon. The bar explodes in a flurry of speculation. Tillerith does his best to manage the onslaught of questions, but his answers are insufficient. The elves have slain a trapper. We are all in danger, and no one knows why. Voices rise and anger replaces uncertainty. Maybe if he hadn't sold his soul to that witch, he'd still be alive, Leody shouts. Maybe if the Empire had done something about those damn Uru years ago, we wouldn't have to worry about things like this happening, Rafal shouts back. The first time I've heard him all night. This isn't my fight. This is my place to decide what to do about the Uru elves and the lady about Muad'Din. Not until we know more. I look at Gurren, who's toying with an amulet of Allred, lost in thought. Tillerith is fielding more questions. Now seems a good time as any to go to bed. Gurren will be more than eager to fill me in if I manage to miss anything important. The next day, I take breakfast. Things have calmed down a bit since last night, but the atmosphere is heavy. It's strange that Muad'Din, of all trappers, could cause so much concern. I take some Lale blackberry with a greasy breakfast of pork and eggs. The merchants should be here in a couple of days. I can sell my wares, buy a few pecks of wheat corn, and get back to the wild. Then I won't have to think about politics and war again until after the Uru have killed me and burned down my cabin. A week of aimless mornings pass. Each passes slowly. Meals the only relief among otherwise long days of waiting. We wait for the merchants, for answers, for something to break the tense quiet other than Leody's habitual drum of fingers. The merchants arrive. The tavern's amenities have been chewing through my script, so I'm overjoyed to get a chance to finally sell my furs and hear some news about the outside world. When I make my way to the merchant camp outside, I'm stunned to see the look of things. The guards are tense, their servants forlorn. When I come up to one of the traders to offer my wares, his words are short and clipped. His offer is insultingly low. His price is insultingly high. I can hear Leody cursing out another trader in the distance, so I know I'm not the only trapper being given this treatment. I catch some men in guard uniforms playing dice and making merry, so I throw some coin into the pot and ask for a chance to throw. They're happy to get some new blood in the game. We gamble for a bit. It's a strategic game as far as money games go. Roll until you get knocked out by a bad roll. Save up your points for the next round by banking them. Peso, one of the gamblers, feeds me the rules before bending my ear about the tragedies afflicting the camp. We got quicklings wrecking our carts and Triskags stealing our gold. The whole expedition's losing money, and they're cutting our pay to make up for it. The gambler to my left interrupts. They say it's because we're not protecting the caravan properly, but we're only here to protect these fools from bandits. It's not like they outfitted us with cold iron. These swords might as well be sticks to the Fae. It's his turn, and he's rolling recklessly, racking up points without bothering to bank. More Mariana, though, says Peso, his eyes sharp as he snatches the dice up after the man to my left rolls out. Should have banked closely. Who's Mariana, I ask. Peso starts rolling. One of the expedition leaders. Her son went to sleep about a week ago and hasn't woken up since. Did she go see the lady? I ask. Peso pauses here and looks me in the eye. Who's the lady? I tell him, there's a witch in the forest that claims she has a cure for the sleeping sickness that the boy caught. Peso screws up his face briefly before replying, I don't think she'll be needing the services of a witch. I pick up some of the rude strategy of the game as we play, but still end up losing most of my wagers. Play for a bit longer until the conversation runs dry. I don't mention Muad'Din or his unfortunate death. All that lies that way is more questions and no answers. Eventually, I pump Peso and the gamblers for information about buying and selling at the camp. Don't ask for gold when you're trading. They haven't gotten any give, and they don't offer any gold either. We can't defend what we get, advises Peso. I sell my goods for unfortunate prices to a trader my gambling partner suggests to me, and I'm able to improve negotiations by bartering for some things other than money. I have a new trap, a set of clothes, and some pecks of wheat and barley for my troubles this season. The inn waits for one last conference of his trappers. The tavern is packed. The trade caravan has brought in a number of new customers, and Tillera's eyes look glazed over from exhaustion as he works. In the corner, Leody tells a tale to the other trappers. He gestures forcefully and looks at his interlocutors in the eye as he speaks. I approach. No idea how much this job's going to be worth. I'll risk the Eridu for a heartbeat for this. Rafaela's arguing. What would we even buy with the money? It's not enough to get out of Talos. I'd say it's not worth the risk. I lean over to Kieran and whisper, fill me in. Kieran says, Leody is going to guide one of the traders to the lady. This isn't the first time Leody has taken unnecessary risk for the elves, the Eru in particular. His territory crossed over a small section of the Eru conclave for months, even though the penalty of trespassing in elven territory is death. He's only alive because no elven witnesses personally observed his trespass. Leody, do you even know where the lady is? Why would Mariana hire you instead of a villager who's actually gone to see her, I ask. 2 reasons. 1, they didn't make an offer. I did. 2, they won't say a word about the lady, let alone where to find her. As far as where the lady is, I know where Meodin like to hang out. That should be good enough. So what are you going to tell this lady and her kid after you wander out into the forest for hours without finding the lady? Asked Rafael. It won't come to that, says Leody. Oh, I'm sure. Rigo walks off, pulling Gurin with him. I'm alone with Leody. I want to know more about the lady and the mystery of the cure, so I ask, Leody, could I follow your group tomorrow? Leody shrugs and doesn't bother to look at me. Sure, you can come with. I was hoping to do this in secret. I don't want to have anything to do with the Erhu if they're involved. Leody looks me in the eye, a question in his mind. This time he says, here, how much gold you got on you? Leody, if you want a secret, Captain, you got to pay for it. Fine. I dig through my bags for a handful of script. Who knows what it'll be worth next year? This work for you? He hands me back a couple of notes. Go buy yourself a drink. I'll see you in the morning. Following the group's trail, a light rain picks up. This is the forest at its best, when the mosses and the ferns are touched with a cooling mist, when the pattern of raindrops on leaves entices more powerfully than any fairy enchantment. The rain will seep into the soil with a sweet-smelling Petriture. Try it again. Rain will seep into the soil with a sweet-smelling petriture, will perfume the air. Anticipation shudders through me. I catch a broken twig, the mark of a dagger in the tree, and I know the party is close. I come to a clearing and spy the group. Some squat, others sit on their haunches, entranced by a woman who looks like the glitter of sunlight on the pond. She's cradling Mariana's boy in her arms, and she smiles upon him. He speaks to the group in words I cannot hear. I see them hold their hands to their heart and reply. Are they swearing an oath? I creep closer, circling around the clearing, looking for cover. I find a spot near the wellspring. I freeze in small terror as the lady leads the group towards me, but if she notices me, she gives no sign. She grabs a tea kettle sitting in the springs and fills it with water before hanging it over a solitary flame. The flame burns freely without fuel. A conjuring. I hear her voice at last, soft spring rain and leaves of lilac. She speaks to Mariana. The tea will wake him, surely, but one dose is no cure. Mariana begs, please, whatever you can do. I want to see my boy. The lady replies, Mariana, be calm. You must be a comforting presence for your son when he wakes. I'll wait for the kettle to boil. The lady takes the boy in both arms again and says, the treatment is more effective if I know the boy's true name. Mariana stares wide-eyed at the lady. Her eyes are downcast when she speaks. I don't know his true name. How would I? He's your son, is he not? The lady makes an arcane gesture and blows a shimmer of magical air towards the mother. Think of him and the name will come. Whisper it not, but hold it in your mind and I shall know. Mariana hesitates before giving in to the request. She closes her eyes and concentrates. Steam pours out of the kettle, and without a word, the lady summons the flame. She grabs some leaves from her pouch and rubs it over the eyes and lips of the young boy. She is singing in the language of the forest, an ancient woody tongue. She chews the leaves for a bit, spittle dripping delicately from her lips. After a few minutes, she spits the leaves into a pot. All wait in silence for the brew to steep. Mariana shifts on her haunches, almost rocking. The lady pours out the tea. She dips her fingertips into the brew and paints the boy's eyes and lips again. His eyes flutter open, and he sits up, before being stopped by the lady. Lie still, sweet child. You must not exert yourself while the haze of the illness is upon you. Please, you must drink, she says, propping him up slightly with one hand and offering him the tea with the other. In small sips, the child drinks the tea. His mother is beside herself, hands covering her mouth, eyes wet and bright. My heart breaks for her. Can I hold him? I want to talk to my boy again. I want to see a smile. It would not be wise. He must finish the tea. It's been so long since I've seen him wake. Mariana rocks on her knees and finally bursts into tears. Now, no tears. You must be strong for your son. Let this be a happy reunion, says the lady. Mariana wipes the tears from her eyes. Yes, of course. Please finish the tea. Let me see my son. The boy passes between cradling arms. Mariana smiles. Hey there, beautiful boy. Mommy, what time is it? I'm tired. I know you are, baby. You can go to sleep real soon, but just stay awake a little longer with Mommy, please. Can you do that for me? Why don't we sing together? She starts humming, and together they sing. Seam along the thigh, coming from the sky, rain of dust and brimstone, never ever go home. Mariana asks. You like that one, huh, baby? Yeah. Don't worry, Mommy will take you home real soon. Mother and son continue to sing and talk and play as he gradually grows more sleepy, yawning more and more often. He dozes in his mother's arms. Mariana hands his son back to the lady of the forest and bows her head. Thank you for giving me this time with him. Leotie leads Mariana and her entourage out of the clearing. I stay behind and watch the lady as she approaches to fill the pot with water again. It is fortunate that you are the one who observed. You drank the ichor in its purest form. That places you under my power. She signs an arcane sigil, and I drop, sinking into a strangely familiar inky blackness. The world grows more vivid, more real. Every leaf on every branch seems uniquely itself. Every blade of grass sings out its presence in a cacophony of being. I can feel the flora beneath me. I get up fearing that by sitting I would destroy something precious. All that was underneath me springs upward into the sky, stretching up to drink the rain with no memory of my crushing weight. Suddenly unconcerned with the lady, I walk, headed nowhere in particular. My step is bouncing, and I can't help but smile as I make my way through the forest made anew. Memories that fairy enchantments had robbed from me return, sharper than when I had lived them. One night, I woke up to an incessant cawing, which wasn't too strange on its own, but Theosilla shouldn't have been awake in the pitch blackness of night. A million moments passed while I waited for the flames to catch the tinderbox from the tinderbox to the candle to the torch. The cawing stopped. I walked out, and my torchlight traced a path in the air, catching on shards of lost magic shimmering on the ground. A delicate little creature with gossamer wings lay dead, bright colors fading with its passing. A fairy. Theosilla pecked at the thing as it dissolved into air. Theosilla hopped away, quickly forgetting the fairy ever was. The memory of the fae actively faded from my mind as well, and I carried Theosilla back to the house, mothering her wounds for some now unknown assailant as she cawed words of protest. I remember more enchantments. I had made my journey to Irbyfort, carrying a bucket filled with black ichor, and moving with an agenda that was not my own. Just upriver of that fortress town, I sat the bucket in the water and covered the top with rocks to slow the rate of diffusion. And then, in the dark of the night, I imagined a slimy inkwell of blackness slithering atop the river, ready to make its home in the hearts of the townspeople. It made my heart glad. These were not my thoughts. I glanced down. This is my body, all right, but these are not my thoughts. I plunged my hand into the river again to remove the hateful bucket, but I fall in. The water is warm, viscous. I try to swim, but my mind is growing hazy with sleep. If I drunk the water, I'll surely drown. The riverbank, as if in sympathy, reaches out into my path and grips my hands to her. I crawl, heaving my torso onto the blades of grass, each individual stalk making its presence known as it bends beneath me. An inky blackness overtakes me. I sleep. A small child comes to me, holding a crow. It looks like the spitting image of Theosilla, but it's not Theosilla. I don't know how I know. The boy I recognize, Carr Denson, denizen of Irbyfort, ill with a sleeping sickness. I can make her better. My legs are still dragging beneath me, floating in the water. I pull myself forwards and sit on the grass cross-legged. Is she broken? No, but if she were, I could make her better. I'll show you. He grabs Not Theosilla by the wing and snaps it. I cringe and pull back. Not Theosilla squawks violently. The boy wraps the towel around Not Theosilla and runs off. Stay right here! The thought of doing something does not cross my mind. I stay there and wait for the boy to show me how he can make the Not Theosilla better. The boy returns with some sticks and twine. He sets the wing and makes a splint for her, sticking his tongue out in concentration as he ties. The boy calmly strokes Not Theosilla's feathers, making soft croaking noises as he does his tender work. I like making them better. Wouldn't it be best if you never hurt them in the first place? The boy chews on this for a while, and then says, just watch. I watch, mind slipping in and out of awareness. Weeks pass as I sit rooted to the ground. Not Theosilla spends her time taking food from the boy's hand, learning simple commands. He allows her wing to be inspected as it heals, with only minor complaint. I recognize everything. It was rewarding to take care of Theosilla when she had come to me, but to break the bird's wing in the first place? Monstrous. The splint comes off, and Not Theosilla's initial flaps are feeble at best. Her muscles are weak with disuse, and the injury... she might never recover fully, just as Theosilla hadn't. I sit waiting, day after day. I hope that she will turn out all right. Short, hopping flights give me hope. One day, Not Theosilla flies away. When he discovers her escape, the boy pouts and cries, but I give him a hug and tell him it's all right, and he made her better, just as he promised. I wanted to make her better, but it doesn't mean she can fly away. He stamps his feet in frustration. Now I can't have her anymore. I'll do it differently next time. The boy runs away into the forest. I remember my hunger and my thirst. I stand up shakily. My feet haven't been used in weeks, maybe months. I look to a spot, and then I'm there. I've walked, but I have no memory of experiencing walking, only the memory of the walk itself. I want an apple, and then I'm standing next to an apple tree, core discarded, apple eaten. In my memory, I've eaten an apple, savored it even. I wanted to drink, and then I have drunk from the clear, cool spring. I want to leave, and the forest is unreal again. Fake, like a memory of a true forest. I can focus on a single tree, examine the intricacies of its bark, but I cannot understand all the barks at once, or know every blade of grass. The place is a shadow. Slowly, I remember. This is home. This is how the forest used to feel before I came to the true forest. This is, and the word feels strange, normal. I wander through the forest, walking through an unfamiliar land. The feeling of the true forest is lingering in my mind. I know this forest not. The trees are of Talsh, the bird song, rough and croaking melody filled with caws and scrannel notes. The bird song is Talshan. I feel confident that I am not too far from home as I move. All I need is a familiar sight. Downhill will take me to the river. An arrow whips through the trees, striking the trunk to the tree on my left. Another lands to my right. A third lands at my feet. Warning shots expertly placed. I'm in elven territory, and they want me to know it. I kneel down and put my hands up. No point in running or resisting. They'll drop me dead as a blink in the blink of an eye. Not one of the cold bastards would blink to do it. They approach, talking in elven. I know enough to get by, but they're speaking quickly and in war grammar. I'm hopelessly lost. An elf in shining glassy armor flattens the tip of the spear against my head. He guides my gaze downwards. Apparently, I shouldn't have been staring. They talk, deciding my fate. Silk rope comes out, and for a brief minute, an elf ties my arms in an intricate pattern. My arms are locked in place, unable to do as much as bend or straighten an elbow. Yet the rope is nowhere as tight and is a comfortable fit all in all. It's not so bad to be an elf prisoner. If only they valued human life more. I adopt a limp as I walk. Nothing to slow down the trek, just pretense of injury. I don't know if they're watching before they captured me, but I figure if not a little play for sympathy wouldn't hurt. I recognize some landmarks on the way, and I begin to recognize territory with increasing dread. We're going to an enclave of the Erhu elves. I look for an embankment or a cliff I could drop down, something short enough not to kill me, but steep enough not to encourage a chase. Talsh is notoriously hilly, and there should be a chance. However, our path does not take us past any cliffs at all. Does not take us past any sort of escape. Even the freedom of death is blocked from me. A grove ahead. Skinny trees lashed together. A verdant palisade. Elves pass easily through small gaps in the trees, come to gawk at me. A small crowd gathers and moves with me, their stony faces and cold hearts unwilling to be moved to jeering. I make a desperate play. I invoke Rumash. No one responds. I invoke Rumash. I've come to trade. An elf in fine robe steps forward, face unmoving. And what is it that you have come to trade? I have stories and songs. This could be yours for the right price. In the name of Rumash, I have come to trade my wares. He considers me for a moment, tosses a copper coin at my feet. Tell me, bard, how is it that you came to be in Erhu territory? Weave a tale for me. A copper piece is an insult. Still, it offers me a chance to tell my story. You offer me a pittance for such a heavy tale, but in the spirit of the season, I will tell you. I am no bard, but my story is interesting enough. I tell the elf of the trade caravan. Mariano was a sleeping boy. The lady might capture the true forest, to the extent that I remember the true forest, at least. Some parts of it slip my mind, even as I tell the tale. A tale well told. It lacked certain poetry, but then tales are not your trade, are they? I freeze. If I am not a bard, I have nothing to trade. They can do with me as they wish. You seem worried. Allow me to alleviate your fears. We are not going to kill you for coming to our territory with nothing to trade. Rumash has come and passed. Coming to an elven territory outside of Rumash is also a death sentence. Somehow, this seems worse. How long have I spent in the true forest? The elf speaks to the guards behind him. Calm him. We'll hand down the sentence after verifying his story. One of the elves comes to me and stares deep into my eyes. I lack the sense to look away before my eyes focus on his. He walks around me in a circle, and I turn with him, involuntarily maintaining eye contact. He blinks, heavy and slow. My eyes droop, and a great void rushes up to greet me. The world is blackness. The vague image of walking through the elven camp rests in the back of my mind, but it is strange and unimportant. My thoughts slip away every time I try and focus it in my mind. There's only blackness, the sensation of dropping down. I'm in the river, drifting downstream, with no bank to save me. The black ichor surrounds me and supports me. It is warm and viscous, trapping my arms and legs, making them too heavy to move. I sink down into it, and it covers my face, trapping my eyes closed. I breathe it in, and breathing is easy. My lungs fill with slick warmth. I'm sleepy, happy, relaxed. I want to stay here forever. I sink deeper into the ichor, deeper and deeper down. My eyes flutter open. I am chained to a bed, tended to by an elf witch and an elven man. The elf has just finished pouring a potion into my mouth, and I am straining against the bed, pulling against everything, threatening the frame. I'm filled with unendurable heat. What the hell did they give me? What the hell did those bastards give me? Release me, I'll throttle you! The rage of the potion fills me, and my mouth moves on its own. What did you put to me, tree-humping twig mockery of a man? I'll break you in half! The twig mockery of a man jumps back. You move like the son of a dryad. Your knees are too full of sap, or is it your mother's cradle basket? And you witch, this is your brew, is it not? I'm gonna take every twisted remedy you've got and shove them down your throat until you're foaming at both ends. I'm going to... The energy drains from me. I'm still upset, but fighting no longer seems worth the effort. I want to sleep again. I want to drift. I want this to be over. The witch comes over to the bedside. We all do, dear. We're doing our best to find a cure. Find a cure for what? The sleeping sickness, of course. I take a moment to process this. Am Am I sick? The witch returns to her tinctures, and I stare at the ceiling, counting leaf shingles. I rise, free from my shackles, going through the roof. The forest is an ocean before me, and I know every tree in its unfathomable horizon. My mother cradles me in her arms and sings me songs, such as it is, filled with caws and scrannel notes. My arm is in a sling. She can make me better. I don't want to be better. I want to stop waking up, spinning fury at my two tortures, and then falling asleep again, dreaming about sleeping, dreaming about waking up, then waking up from that and spinning in fury and waking again. Do I hate them? I hate waking up. They're dosing me with stimulants and hoping one will stick. Crude for elf medicine. Some days the stimulants last, and we're forced to endure each other's presence for longer than either party would like. I have the sleeping sickness. I wake up gently for once. I test my restraints once more, and sharp pain shoots through my arms. I look down, and they're bandaged, wrist to elbow. The male attendant shouts something to the witch, and she rushes over with delicate steps. I recognize enough Elvish to hear the word for cold iron. I recognize take them out, which concerns me. The male attendant used a knife to cut open the bandages. Down a gel line of magically clotted blood, needles of iron lie flat in my open veins. He casts a small spell on his scalpel and runs it down my arm, down the clot line. The clots recede and the blood stains my arm, dripping out of me. Nausea overwhelms. I take every pain to keep still from him. I may be here unwillingly, but I'm going to cooperate when it's in my best interest. His work is quick, and he's got the needles out of my arm in seconds. He casts a small spell and runs his finger down my arm, creating the same gel seal that was there before. He grabs a seat to the right of me, tools ready. Wait. Not yet. Give me a second to recover. I know he speaks common, but he chooses not to hear me. He's cutting me open again. I'm gritting my teeth and clenching my fists, breathing hard, eyes shut. Just give me a second, you absolute fuck! My right arm welts with blood, and I feel it on the edge of throwing up. I close my eyes tighter and focus on deepening, controlling my breathing. With every twinge of movement from the needles, I tense more tightly and hyperventilate. I bring my breathing back and lose control. Bring it back and lose control again. Bring it back again. All the color drains from my face. All the sensation drains out of my body. I wake up gently. My arms are still bandaged. The witch is here. That merciless twiggy bastard is here. Listen here, I'm not going to be treated like this. I don't know what makes you think you have the right. The witch responds. We're done with you here. You're cured. Your sentencing is today. What? Just what I said. You're cured. Your sentencing is today. I'm being sentenced? After all I've been through? Of course, you trespassed on our land. You will be judged. Don't tell me you didn't know the law, fur trapper. I sit in silence for some moments. I'm resigned but curious. How did you cure me? That will remain a secret of the elves until the Empire pays us for a cure. Is it cold iron? To some degree, although it is a little more complex than that. She laughs as if she told herself a joke. Two willowy elves come in. They're shorter and broader than the other elves, but still thin and wan by human standards. They undo my restraints, freeing my legs and detaching my arm restraints from the bed. My arm restraints bind me to the captors as they lead me to an assembly of the elves. The elf who heard my story so long ago presides. He speaks. You are not a forgiving race of elves. We are a proud people, the last of the elves to end our wars with humankind, and before us stands a representative of our hated enemy. The elves in assembly are stone-faced. Perhaps they wear some expression of fury in the arch of their brows, or the angle of the ears, but I cannot see it. Cold, unfeeling bastards. The elf continues. The sentence for the crime of trespassing on our lands is death. He has trespassed. He admitted his trespass. There can be no other sentence. All in favor say aye. The assembly is unanimous. Aye. The speaker looks at me. Summon the executioner. An elf in the crowd stands up, looks around for a moment, gauging something. He speaks. I request a deferment. Even I can see the twinge in the sentencer's eyes when he hears this. On what grounds? He has seen the lady, and he is not bound by her oaths. The crowd falls still. I request a deferment of 10 days to be extended to 100 years, provided he kills the lady of the forest. Men are cowards. You can't expect him to willingly return to us when he fails to kill her. I don't imagine I'll be able to convince you, Bethan, but there is an opportunity before us, and I see no reason to let it slip through our grasp. Put it to a vote. I invoke my right. Pathan returns his face to a cool mask. All in favor of deferring the execution of a sentenced trespasser, say aye. The ayes trickle to the crowd. A smatter at first, a few more, and then a deluge. Nays? In unison, a small crowd shouts, Nay! The ayes have it. The Urhu give me an amulet of strange iron, cold and dead in my hands. My mind feels strange as I take it. I feel its weight, but the strangeness disappears as I wear the inert talisman. It's the largest lump of cold iron I've ever seen. They tell me I need to kill the lady. I head to Cindersnap, looking for trails through the forest left by the parents making their weekly pilgrimage to see their children. The forest floor is clean, though, as though no creature has ever passed. No desire paths, no animal trails. Fey magic. I cross over Cindersnap again and again, looking for any sign of the lady and her visitors, but nothing comes. Curious. Magic must be protecting the lady from me, but she must see the parents of the children. A simple enough solution. I'll have to shadow the parents coming to see their children. I'll head back to Irbyfort. Irbyfort is unwell. Sorry, just seeing where we are. Oh no, we only have 10 minutes. All right, we're gonna make it through. Hey, Bobicus. Sorry I had to get started before you were able to join in. I want to make sure I made it through by the end of the stream. All right, let's keep rolling. Irbyfort is unwell. Fair enough. The thin trade of this season's Ramash and the continuous trauma of the sleeping sickness has left the whole place haggard and worn. The gate is wide open. When I arrive, no guards are present. The streets are thick with weeds, and the people walk slowly with their gazes fixed on the ground. I wait outside the gates. Sitting against the boulder, I drift in and out of sleep as I wait, relaxed but ready. When a couple exits town, their faces forlorn, the gate dragging, I perk up. These are my targets. I lean against the boulder as they pass, looking as disinterested as I can manage. When I've given them 30 seconds to pass me, I turn around and begin walking the same direction. Things look right, heading towards Cindersnap. When they reach Cindersnap, however, their confusion mounts. My confidence wanes. The trailless forest is back, and my companions notice it immediately. Rather, they notice that they have no idea where they're going. I walk out of the bush where I'd been hiding and introduce myself. Are you looking for the lady? I ask. They remain silent, but the expression on their face is a mixture of shock and hopelessness. She's not here today. You'll have to check again tomorrow. She's not here today. You'll have to check again tomorrow or the next day. They look at one another silently before one of them thanks me. They turn to leave. I try to look calm and stoic as I watch. What was my best chance of finding the lady walk away? I plan to follow them tomorrow, of course, the day after, but I have few plans to find the lady. All those who are sworn to secrecy, I'll have to contact someone with more knowledge of the Fey magic to find out how to proceed. I drop a message at the bar. It'll take 2 weeks to arrive. No use. I'm dead in 9 days if the Urhu find me. The bartender laughs when I ask if it's possible to flee the Urhu. They produce some of the finest sharpshooters in this part of the world, honey. Wherever could you travel from here, an Urhu would be waiting and ready to cut you down as you walk the gangplank from sea to shore. I finish my drink. The dregs lie at the bottom. A bad bottle and a bad omen. On the fourth day of following the family, the lady reveals herself. Her voice is a babble of a spring brook. Welcome. I am oathbound to let you see your child once a week. I am making good on our arrangement. The parents make as if to speak, but no sound comes out. And you are similarly oathbound not to reveal my secrets to strangers. Sensing my cue, I come out of the bush. The lady reaches down beneath her and picks up the boy who was not there a moment ago. Some deeper knowledge tells me that the boy has always been there, just unnoticed. She speaks. You have come to kill me, have you not? I pull a dagger from my belt. The father rushes forward, but when I turn to face him with a knife, his courage fails. The lady begins to sing or chant. I turn to her, anticipating another enchantment. The child in her arms begins to convulse. I rush forward to grab the child from her, but she steps back. She says, "You were so eager to save this child, but this is just the end stage of the sickness, the condition they would all be in if not for me." She sings another few notes and the convulsions stop. "Tell me, how many children would you kill to save yourself? I can help these children, have been helping these children. Let me do my work." The elves have a cure. I crouch ready to spring forward, drive my dagger into her. "The elves have a treatment. You are sick." She laughs. She signs an arcane signal. I drop, sinking into a familiar inky blackness. Instinctively, I reach for my amulet, but my mind is blank and my hand drops. I wake up in Irbyfort, in the inn. I check my coin pouch. It is no lighter. My dagger is still with me. I stumble out of my room and make my way to the innkeeper. How did I get here? "A man and a woman coming from Cindersnap brought you. They paid your room's rent as well." This is strange. I've done them no favors. I asked the innkeeper, "Do you know why?" The innkeeper says, "They say they do so in the name of the lady." So, it was my life for the ladies. And what was my life worth compared to hers? Could I save those children or even give their parents the meager comfort of waking them once a week? No. I unclasp the amulet from my neck and feel the weight of my task in my hands again. I am resolved to leave here with the bartender, perhaps to die to an Airhus sharpshooter. I cannot do what they have asked of me. As I hold the strange lump of metal in my hands, the blackness within me recedes in my mind. Memories come flooding back of black ichor and depositing it in the river, of meeting the lady for the first time in the night, the day that I had found the strange wooden sculptures. I get up from the bar and travel upriver, searching for a now-remembered place. I clutch the amulet tightly and slowly piece together the fractured memories. The lady speaks to me. "Think with me, trapper, into the sleep unending of suffering dissipated into dreamless slumber." She holds in her hand a small bucket and offers it to me. I take it from her. The memory of placing the bucket in the river plays in my mind, and I curse. I reach the river to remove the hateful bucket, and this time I do not fall in. I do not drink the waters of the sleeping sickness. I've removed the bucket. I've not expunged my sin. It is time to see the lady once more. I walk to the forest, and the path presents itself. I follow, and it leads directly to the lady's clearing. Clutching my amulet, holding it in front of me, I approach. "I wasn't expecting to see you again. Have you decided your life is worth?" I take out my dagger and slash it across her face. The cut heals right before my eyes. I'm too angry to be shocked. "I've come to kill you, monster." "Monster? How dare you? I have done more for this forest. You poisoned them." "I do not know what you mean. You brewed the black ichor. You made the children sick in the first place. I did no such thing. I care for these children." Her voice is hollow now. Her clothes radiant. Her eyes are glowing amber and shine with tears. "I care for these children. I do, not you." The lady meets my glare and signs. I drop. The lady's arms carry me weightless. Something cold burns against my chest, and I tear the amulet from my cheek. I want to throw it away and fall deeper in the lady's arms, but my stomach revolts at the thought. I grip the ice like it is fire tighter in my hands, and the chill rejects the warm embrace of the lady. I wake up and see the lady of the forest right in front of me. I rip the amulet off my neck and run my dagger into her stomach. Shining yellow liquid pours forth, burning my hands as I touch it. I shove the amulet into her stomach and clutch my hands in pain as her blood burns me. In moments, she falls, gripping her stomach as the wound heals over the amulet, taking it in. "Take it out, take it out. I'm the only one who can save them." I step on her chest. "What is the cure, monster?" "Only I can save them. Only me, only me." "Tell me the cure if you want to live." "But it has to be me. Do you understand? I'm the savior. Only me," she screams. Foam dribbles from her mouth as her radiance fades. I kneel down next to her. "Give me the cure. Please, I'm begging you." She screams out one last wretched cry of pain. The lady fades into broken shimmers of magic, leaving the amulet lying in the grass, cold and unaffected. The air scintillates, and The sleeping children appear in small piles around the clearing. The leaves of the tea are waiting by the spring. I'll brew a pot for the children while I wait for someone to find me. The lady was telling the truth about the failure of the elves' treatment. This tea is the closest thing we've got to a cure. There's nothing for it. The Fae will do as they will do, and we in the Outlands must endure. Awesome. Awesome story. I love that story. Thank you, Bobicus, so much for sharing that. I hope that my reading of it did justice to the story. I really love it. When I have time, if you're okay, I do actually have to run now to help my wife with something. However, I do hope to go through it maybe line by line at some point, and maybe just write a couple of notes on it if you're okay with that. If not, no worries, I won't do it. I just think it would be fun to dissect a little in the story writing kind of way. Love it. I love where it went. I love the feel of it, and the characterization, the way that you brought out the feeling of sleep and this kind of, magical enchantment. Really cool. Love this. Thank you so much. So much. I'll definitely share a completed one of mine in the in the Discord that you can take a look at, and feel free to poke holes into my writing all that you would like. Anyway, to everyone who joined, we made it on time. Thank you so much for joining. We will keep reading things. We'll keep doing math and physics in different times. And in the meantime, I hope you guys have a wonderful evening. Again, thank you so much, Bobicus, for this awesome experience. Feel free to join the Discord if you're so interested. If not, I will see you next time I stream. I will try and every time I say this, I'm gonna be more consistent with the times and when I stream and yada yada yada. And I'm really terrible at it. So honestly, the best thing to do is to have notifications set if you're interested in more of these streams. If not, no worries, no harm. Thank you for joining. I will see you all next time, and have again a wonderful evening. Goodbye.